So, before things get started, I want to give you a quick rundown of some trigger warnings for this game. First and foremost, some, if not all, of the players in the Storyteller will have fake blood on them throughout the game. Some will also be drinking liquids reminiscent of blood. The backdrops of all the screens will have splashes of blood on them. During this game, you can expect blood, death, blood drinking, mind manipulation of NPCs, not within a sexual context, cursing, NPC death, some gore, potential werewolf/werewolf-esque creatures, and character death. If any of these things aren't topics you wish to see or interact with, then A Curse of Blood is not for you. Thank you for stopping by to begin with, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. For those of you that are sticking around, well, let's get right to it then. Hey everybody! Very excited to have you all here. Welcome to BIPOC VampDay, and this is The Curse of Blood. My name is VJ, my pronouns are they, them, he, him, and something funny. I've only had two people, one of them being the worst person I know, just kidding, Apollo, who's given me a funny pronoun. If you have a funny pronoun to use for me, please drop it in the chat. I will see it. I'm going to be here watching this, probably. Most likely. Somebody will tell me about it one way or the other. Thank you so much. I'm a professional TTRPG designer and DM over on StartPlaying.games. And when I'm not doing that, I'm educating people on bigotry within the TTRPG space. And 90% of the time, if I'm not doing that education, I'm just yelling at bigots because I don't know, I like yelling at them sometimes. And with that, I'm going to hand this over to one of my very amazing players. Laura, please take it away.
Hi, hello, good evening, folks. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. My pronouns are she, they. And if you want to find me on the internet, you can usually find me somewhere under Laura_Tutu. You might just have to throw an underscore at the beginning and the end of that, depending on what hell site you're looking at. When I'm not here playing vampire things in a Western setting, you can find me over with the fine folks at Queen's Court Games in our multi-award-winning Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, The All-Night Society. If you want to see more about what Queen's Court Games does, you can find us at queenscourt.games.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Next up, the one, the only, the most hated. Kidding. Apollo, please take it away.
Hello there. My name is... Hi. My name is Apollo. I'm known by many names in many lands. But here you may call me Apollo, at TallNerdApollo, online Ivia Nasty. I am an Irish voice actor, TTRPG performer, and cosplayer. I am also a demon sent straight from the bowels of the seventh hell to torture VJ for eternity, and a little guy.
I'm glad that Apollo has admitted that they're a fucking demon. Side note, folks, I do love Apollo deeply. This is all just a gag. Thank you so much. Mozz, my actual friend who I enjoy having around.
Hi everyone, I'm Mozz. My pronouns are she, they. I am known as Mozz, or, you know, usually on the internet it's a mozzarella, or it's mozzarella, or I have 3 L's on Twitch because there's a person with 2 L's, and one day I'll have that too. But anyway, I am a voice actor. I am also a GM over at Starcrawl RPG, running our Kids on Brooms campaign. I am so excited to play.
Thank you so much, Mozz. Also, thank you for being an actual friend to me. Sparrow, take it away, please.
Hello there, I am your favorite burb on the interweb, aBlackSparrow. You can find me at aBlackSparrow pretty much everywhere except for YouTube, where I'm at aBlackSparrow vids because someone took that, and like Mozz, I will have that soon too. Otherwise, I am a co-founder of Feywild and Out, and I'm excited to be here and get started.
Thank you so much. And with that, folks, we'll be right back for the story. Hey folks. So, in this land of violence, blood, and death, where men, women, and children cheat each other to get ahead, in this world where hell and heaven is real, there's supposed to be one truth. When you're dead, you stay dead. Unfortunately, that's not true for some souls. Some are cursed with a life beyond death and a thirst for the lifeblood of the living. And worse yet, some are cursed with whatever the hell is ailing the one that made them. And with that, we find our 4 characters in the small town of Helldale. The last rays of sunlight have set, and with the darkness comes these predators of man. The Silver Dollar, the one and only saloon, is bustling with activity, the perfect place to gather information on travelers. The mood is light and jovial. There's a few dozen people cramped into this medium-sized establishment. Most appear to be workers from the local mine, while a few others appear to be of a more dangerous sort. But all are drinking, playing cards, and listening to music on the phonograph. What's going on with the rest of y'all? Please tell me your character's name, their pronouns, what they look like, and what they're doing in this tavern right now as they're here to gather information on a certain vampire.
Well, personally, I've never paid for my own drinks in my life, and I don't intend to start doing that in my unlife. So first and foremost, the vampire known as Jackson Anders, who is slimly built, like lithe runner muscle, dressed in shades of gray and black, is finding the nearest half-drunk dullard and picking their pocket.
No, that's super easy. So currently at the bar, so first off, the barman behind this kind of this like 6'7", big burly fellow, red hair and beard, red freckles, very pale skin, is on the other end of the bar helping out a very well-dressed woman in like this dark purple not like flowing per se, but you know, in like very much like kind of billows out a little bit at the end. And has a kind of a equally well-dressed but also mean-looking woman in like a black pantsuit kind of standing next to her and surveying the rest of the bar. With the bartender currently distracted, there is kind of closest to the door, there is a appears to be like 5'3" individual, light tan skin, very like shorn hair, and is just kind of sitting there. Another drink? I'm good for it. Just put it on the tab. Come on. It's fine. Okay. So you would like to pickpocket this individual. Tell me. Let's see, what move do you have a, let's see, pickpocket, let's see, what is the best one for this?
Reflexes?
Yeah, just do me a roll plus reflexes.
Yeah. I think the vibe is like, I'm gonna like walk up and kind of like jostle the table. And as whatever's left of their drink kind of spills into their lap, it's very like, oh, shit, I'm so sorry. Let me get you dried up, and like distracting as I, go for the coin purse at his hip.
You gonna buy me another drink? Just spilled mine. Oh boy.
That is 2 6s.
Oh! Okay, so you got a 12. Actually, what is your total? What is your total, actually?
14.
Okay, all right. So you reach into this individual's pocket. I'm gonna say with that like amazing success that you're going to get. What are you looking for? Actually, anything in particular in this individual's pocket?
Literally whatever kind of coin this poor sumbitch has on hand.
Okay, then
I want it.
here's what's gonna happen. So I think you easily enough reach in and find like a money clip. Easily enough can pull it out, but you also find like kind of reaching in as you're pulling out a rather expensive looking watch. It does, like, the actual glass on it is slightly cracked and easy enough repair, but the watch itself looks pretty expensive as well. And I think with that 14, you're able to snatch both of them.
They just vanish up their sleeves.
Are you gonna get me another drink, or?
Oh, shit, it's the least I can do. Just give me one moment. I'll go get the tender and I'll have something to your right. What are you drinking?
Anything. Oh, wait. It says that and then, like, kind of, like, realizes, wait a minute. Like, you can see the gears in the head, like, wait a minute. I can get something, like, maybe something expensive because somebody else is getting it. Top shelf brandy, and, like, kind of points at it. There is a like on the back of this bar, a shelf at the top, there's a brandy bottle that's got like a huge kind of cactus on it and has a lasso around it as well. Yeah, that's what I was having.
Oh, you know, it's the least I can do. And I will move off to order a drink for them using their own money.
Okay, folks. I don't know how much actual money was worth in the Wild West, so we're just gonna, play with a nebulous amount, but the amount. You find a billfold with, like, kind of checking out the billfold itself. You do find, I'd say, like, $15. I think that might be a decent amount of money. Yeah. This drunkard very clearly came into some money one way or another and is drinking his sorrows away.
Drinking his way through it.
Yeah, honestly. Okay, so you're gonna rush off to order a drink. With that, we're gonna check in with what's everybody else doing? Who wants to step forward and let me know what's going on with you and this lovely silver dollar?
I think as you step up to the bar, you just kind of turn your head, and at the, like, the little corner of the bar, there's a poor soul that has their head in their hand and, like, a half empty glass in the other hand, and they're just trying to go in for a sip, but every time that they try to go in for a sip, they have to be like, oh, yeah, it's very interesting, yeah. They're falling asleep on the bar because they are so bored. Opposite them stands a really well dressed. He got a little vest on. He got his vest on. He got a little shirt. He has a hat that does not fucking fit him.
Too big or too small?
Imagine whatever you think is worse. Yes. It is up to you, my friend. Imagine if I don't know how old Pedro Pascal is, but imagine, like, Pedro Pascal if something went horribly wrong in his career and it showed on his face. This academic, this man is called Aristoteles de la Cueva, or Ari, for friends, if he had friends. He is currently just kind of like, he does not have a drink in his hands, he is just yapping at this poor individual as he's saying, like, yeah, and have you ever heard of the Euthyphro dilemma? That's another very interesting question in the metaethical study, as he's just talking to this person nonstop.
The person that you're currently talking to is a very, like, God, I love a burly guy. A very, like, short, like 5'4", but very, like, muscled and burly. Still has, like, dirt and stuff smudged all over the face from working in the mine. Honestly, I think what actually happened here is his buddies got up to go do something else for a moment, and you just kind of slid in.
I swooped in.
Yeah.
I saw someone alone and unentertained, and I said, I gotta pick this man's brain.
Yeah, like, burly guy, bald, like, dark brown skin, kind of is looking... Are you gonna buy me a drink for all this fucking yapping you're doing in my ear?
I don't drink. I do not partake. Sorry.
Okay,
No,
but
you're
I partake,
alone,
and
so-
you.
What?
I
No,
partake,
no.
and you have interrupted. Listen. I work a lot
Interrupted? You haven't taken a sip since I got here.
because. Do you have
Just
anyone
giving it a
else to?
shot.
Do you have anyone else to talk to? Is that it? Are you just?
Why would I need anybody else? I have you. Your friends left you.
You don't
I
have
found
my
you. You're
friend.
welcome.
You don't have.
I don't have what? Thoughts?
Actually,
I have many
rescue
thoughts. Would you
Ari?
like to hear them?
Can I please rescue Ari?
yeah, you can. As, like,
Ask me. I'm doing great.
I think is like you said. I have you, and then the guy just is kind of like leans in, like kind of muscles bulging a little bit.
I give him a forehead kiss.
I'm like kind of like what you and like you see the two friends walking back like what did you yeah, how are you
This man is
rescuing?
not comfortable. This man is not comfortable in his sexuality and in his friendship with close males. I'm talking to him about meta-ethics, and this is how he acts up.
It's gonna like flip over the table. The music is gonna scratch for a second. The two other guys that have walked up, both like not that much like taller than this individual, but still, one's like way skinnier and the other one's kind of in the middle, like a sliding scale of the muscle and height. And it's just like, are you insulting our friend? Are
No, I'm
you
just
insulting
asking
our
questions.
our friend here? Because I'm
I
happy.
would never. I would never dream. I would never dream of it. I am just asking questions.
You hear a shout like, "Hey! No! We're not fighting tonight! Last time you got into a fight, you broke so many tables, you've barely paid it off. Sit the fuck down!" The bartender, who's no longer like helping the two women in the corner at this point, and
Thank
talking to those
you.
three. You stop fucking with people. I don't know who you are, but god damn it!
I just have questions. I just have questions.
Goes back to serving
Bonsoir.
somebody else.
They like Lenore Duval walks in and puts her like gun on the table and just says, "Let's have the round of drinks for the table, eh? Just for everyone to calm down just a bit." And that's when they kind of like give a look to Ari, just like relax.
I just want to know
And-
what
but
would
the-
they do.
But the look is shared with everyone there, just like we're playing nice now. Lenore has like a warm, deep olive skin, and she has like almond-shaped eyes with green eyes, and her hair is like dark and wavy, and their tresses like kind of go all the way down. So she has it pinned with like silver little threads or jeweled clips that are very like does not fit in, but very very old. So she with like her face though, everything that she has is serious and looking at everyone just. What I mean, just sit, relax. I want a drink. He wants a drink. And then she'll whistle out loud for Jackson and be like, "Jackson, do you want
Yes,
a drink, dear?"
Oh,
One-
no, I was just about to get the refill for what do we need, yeah.
As you've kind of come in and you've diffused the situation with one of them having like picked the table back up and like put it to rights at the insistence of the bartender, the other two are just kind of looking at you like, yeah, a drink, yeah, drinks, sure, and the one that like has just picked up the table kind of just like hits the bottom of the buddies. Yeah, hi, yeah, just three whiskeys.
Whiskey. Ari, I know you don't drink share, right?
Oh, I need something a little bit more full-blooded.
There's like a twitch of Jackson's lips. Like that's not supposed to be funny. Stop it.
They, like Lenore's eye just
Hey, made you laugh. It made you laugh.
Lenore, my share, what can I get for you?
whiskey is fine.
Right away. Where's our other companion? You seen them?
On a chair right behind you is Dr. Case Cassidy. Like, yeah,
Motherfucker.
Like-
Every time.
basically, as you were talking, Dr. Cassidy came around and just had a seat right behind you and is just like polishing a pair of forceps from his bag.
What I didn't tell you about sneaking up on me like that?
Sneaking up on you? No, wouldn't do that. Just thought I'd have a seat.
You want a drink, doctor?
No, gotta keep my senses sharp. Thank you very much.
I will go to the bar and pay for a round with my ill-gotten dollars.
Does that include the top shelf brandy that the guy wanted?
Oh, duh.
Okay, so
I'm not paying for it. I don't care.
We'll say
Real.
with the top shelf brandy included, which is like the most expensive bit, that'll be $8. Like more than half of that going to the brandy.
Okay, we're here for a good time and a long time. I see.
But you get the drinks, the drunkard. Thanks, it's appreciated.
Just kind of give them like a pat on the shoulder and walk back to my little cohorts.
The other, like the three who were very clearly about to start a fight with Ari have like sat down at the table. They pulled up another chair for you, Lenore. Conspicuously haven't pulled an additional chair up for you, Ari. You're free to pull up one on your own.
Oh, I'll stand.
And all three of them kind of have their are like depending on where you're standing, they're trying to have their back to you, but they're very clear, like focusing on Lenore at this point, and mostly just so what brings you to Helldale, to the Silver Dollar? You know, it's mostly a mining town, so we don't get a lot of very
Oh, are you okay, my friend?
And someone. Yes, I are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
You
fine. Great over here. Very great over here. Oh, don't worry about this one. He doesn't know how to speak to pretty people, anybody, honestly. I think if your friend over here wasn't so annoying, probably wouldn't have been able to speak to him either, but
It's okay. He warms up to you after a little bit.
I'm right here.
Especially if he's not talking. And that's when like Lenore will just be like that, like a sharp look.
Dr. Cassidy, while this is going on, is just like casually walking from the point in which they were to like a table behind these guys. He's like almost frighteningly thin. Average height, but just very, very thin individual, short hair, almost like glass hazel eyes, like very hazel. Rarely opens his mouth very wide, but he's just very casually, not trying to be sneaky necessarily, just moving through the bar, polishing the forceps from his bag.
I think as you're kind of moving through the bar doing that, a rather so when you came in here, as I noted, there were a number of kind of like more dangerous looking people than others. There's this one there was one individual, a woman, who's got on just like a black suit, has walked away from the other woman that she was kind of next to and kind of was glaring out at the rest of the bar and has a drink, and kind of walks up and accidentally bumps into you. It's like, oh, sir, and just kind of looks down at your forceps. A doctor, then. Do you have a moment?
But only one.
I guess it's good for a doctor to be clever. I suppose that's something you would admire. So, but a moment then?
Indeed.
Excellent. All right. Come
After you.
Yeah, of course. We'll take you to like a back, a kind of a corner area in this bar. Still very much open. Anybody could see, but like with the kind of people getting up and mingling and getting drinks and stuff, it's a little bit harder for like the three of you that are close to each other to really keep an eye on your companion at this moment. Kind of back in the corner, again, you see the woman in the purple kind of at the ends billowing out dress sitting at a table, sipping on a drink and a book open. We'll say, Maud, you wanted to speak to the next doctor we could find, right? Well, I'm assuming. Well, you said you were a doctor, but I guess anybody could have forceps. But and kind of looking up at you is this beautifully like dark-skinned woman, this like dark brown, almost black hair that's been braided down, and is like you can see has a book open and is reading very clearly. It's an anatomy. It's an anatomy book, but it is in another language. And kind of looks up. Are you actually a trained doctor or a
medical examiner to be precise, but I dabble.
All right, well, I have a question I have a scenario for you. I've asked, and if you get it right, I'll give you some money. It's a little fun little thing I like to do whenever we run into somebody that's actually a doctor. Care for a gamble then? But if you get it wrong...
I was about to say, this sounds like a very one-sided wager.
If you get it wrong... You have to answer a question for me. Truthfully. Any question I ask.
I'm not wearing a hat, but I would tip it.
Oh, excellent. Please, sit down.
He does not. He absolutely does not sit.
Very well. Stand. The other individual doesn't sit either. Bouncing back. What did you say?
You call me?
Does Ari just show up at this corner right now?
I'm not taking this away from you. No, but I do fully just... I need you to know that I've been saying... Like, you know the standing still emoji? That's Ari. Ari just 90-degree turn. And now I'm just looking in your direction.
Oh my god.
But this is all you, baby. Have fun.
But yeah, so you stand up. So the two of you are still standing while Maud is sitting. All right. So a body comes in, completely drained of blood, 2 puncture marks on the neck, a little bit of bruising around there. What do you think it is?
Well, without a proper autopsy, it's hard to say for sure, but...
Give it your best guess. If you were just presented with those facts and the paperwork. Absolutely, no blood, no other cut marks or anything like that. It doesn't appear that the person was hung up... doesn't appear the person was hung upside down or anything to have the blood drain, just completely gone.
I want to scrutinize, if I could.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, let's see. So with scrutinize, we're looking at... Okay. Yeah, roll plus smarts. Go ahead.
Lovely. Ooh, that is a 10 total.
Okay, so on a 10, let's
In
see. You get to ask me 2 questions from the list below.
what here is a sign of danger to come?
I think I think very clearly the smile that is creeping across Mozz's face. It's very much like very amused, but also very anticipatory. In such a way that regardless of what your answer is, it's as if she's won in this moment, one way or the other.
Okay, what here is not what it appears to be?
I'm going to say, Maud's companion, whose name you don't have. As Maud has like laid this out for you, and you're kind of watching the situation unfold right now. I think there is just like kind of out of the corner of your eye as this individual's kind of moving around, adjusting their collar and whatnot. You do like kind of catch a glimpse of 2 bite marks, or at least one at the top of the collar. This person is very clearly like alive, like you can hear the blood and the heartbeat pumping right now, but the vampire bites do kind of give away a little bit of a, okay, there's another vampire involved in this one way or the other.
Okay.
Do you have an answer, or is that a forfeit and I get to ask my question?
Well, you can't rush a diagnosis. That always goes poorly.
You know what? That's a very fair statement.
So I am just milling over the details of your particular scenario. And of course, keeping with the Dr. Cassidy does his best to not signal over to his friends, but he does say the name of his horse, which is Oath, which is kind of just like a, maybe we should get the fuck out of here. Like, he does say like, well, keeping with my oath, of course. Like, he says it a little bit louder than he says everything else. I want to be thorough in this, even in this hypothetical situation.
Of course. That's what you want from a medical examiner. And with you saying that, we're gonna cut back over to your 3 companions right now. Hey, what's going on over here? So the one guy who was about to get into a fight with Ari is still just like tongue-tied, trying to talk to Lenore, and is having a hard time with that. The other 2 are actually asking like, yeah, where are you from? Like those kinds of questions, like especially because you bought a drink, have at this point bought another round for the table. Except Ari, which Ari doesn't drink, but it's very clear wouldn't have bought one for Ari anyway. And the 2 of them are playing, like, kind of have a card game going on right now. But yeah, what's going on with the 3 of y'all right now?
Lenore is, they're sitting kind of with their dress hiked up. So they have their, like, leg over the other one and kind of just muttering something random, just eyeing over where Jackson is, just knowing how Jackson is, especially around public areas, and totally not against what they're doing, just just like keeping an eye. They're just Mon ami, I've been everywhere, from coast to coast at this, I think so. We traveled together. What about you? Have you born in this city, this town?
Yeah. Born, raised. My dad was a miner. I'm a miner. Kid's probably gonna be a miner.
She does a little like kind of either hand signal or something towards the Jackson, saying like, maybe not rob these guys, they don't seem to have much. And then like
I love that we have a hand signal for that.
I feel like
Not these bitches, they broke.
It's just like a thieves signal, something where it's just like, no, has nothing, we're good. And then it's like pats their shoulder or something over to Jackson, and takes up their drink and hands one to Ari to like toast or like clink their glasses before they do like a shot.
So,
I'll take that.
Do you also have child?
The scrawnier one. Oh, no. See, it kind of gives you like a little bit of a once over. Kids aren't really my type. Not really something I'm interested in, ever. You, on the other hand,
me,
you're cute when you're not talking. A little annoying, but there's worse.
I'm only interested in moral dilemmas.
Mm-hmm. All right, goes back to playing
You
cards.
see what I mean? Interesting when he is not talking.
And yeah, see what you mean. Is is somebody else getting pickpocketed in this moment? Are other people getting stolen from right now?
Honestly,
Me?
I
Fucking-
think for now, Jackson is satisfied because able to pay for drinks without spending any of their own money. But I think they are keeping half an eye on their doctor friend. Just because, you know, I feel like we're at the point where we know it's dangerous to sort of wander off on your own, especially depending on like the sort of people we are around. So I think Jackson's actually finally kind of sat down towards the edge of their table. It's got like the front two legs of the chair like tipped back at like their black cowboy booted feet on the table, like ankles crossed, and just sort of casually flipping a blade in one hand as they watch.
And I think even as you're doing this, even over the din of the music, the laughter, some of the arguments that are getting heated, you do hear your companion say oath, which all of you are familiar with what that means in that moment. And as you hear this, what are your like immediate reactions before we cut back over to what's happening over there?
I think
Lenore,
Go ahead.
Lenore would have their pretty much get their bolster into view. They're ready. They're the fighters, so they're ready, and they're kind of having like a sharp face, like you know, a smile, like which one of you am I going to have to like start fighting? But she'll take a look to where it's coming from.
And my other two companions that are here right now and not in this immediate situation.
Jackson puts their chair sort of back on the floor, and like shifts their weight forward. The knife in one hand is caught, and there's a flip of it, and the blade ends up sort of pressed back against the wrist. As they shift their weight forward to it's either going to be run for the door or run for the doctor. Just very quietly watching to figure out what needs to happen.
Okay, and Ari.
I am not smart. Well, I'm very smart. I'm not good at this. So, how many people are there between us and the doctor?
I'd say about half a dozen. Okay, I'd say the bigger issue here is like there are a number of tables between y'all, like probably 5 or 6, with like half a dozen people at those particular ones. The bulk of people are kind of elsewhere, like in the bar at this point.
I think I'm just gonna start closing the distance to the doctor so that if anything pops off, the doctor isn't alone over there. And I'm just gonna put a hand on my revolver and just in my head go, please no, please no, please no, please no, please no, please no.
And with that, we're gonna hop back over to our good doctor. So you've said oath in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Anything like you can feel like the kind of tension rising in this moment, despite the ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much just. So, still deliberating, or?
Yes, actually, and he gets a little closer to Maude. You know, I do believe. Now, can you elaborate? How far exactly are these puncture marks, would you say?
Would say, about this far. And you kind of, as they're saying, you kind of watch as their own two, like, kind of front canines begin to grow and sharpen. And it is at, it is at that point that, the other individual, whose name you still don't have at this point, has kind of like pulled out this kind of massive revolver and is beginning to pull it out in this moment. What, with your very fast reflexes, what are you doing in this moment before this turns deadly?
Not really much of a fighter. I want to react to danger, see if there's a way that I can, and because I can clearly tell that, like, in this moment, Maude has revealed themselves. I know a little bit about unnamed person behind me. I feel like I wouldn't turn my back fully to them in any sense, so I might see the gun coming a little bit. I think I'm gonna put my hand on the underside of the table, getting ready to flip it.
Okay, all right, yeah. Go ahead and make a So that I think that'll be a roll plus reflexes for what you're suggesting here. So go ahead and make a roll for me.
That is a 9 total.
Okay, so all right, you do mostly get what you want, but you have a choice between a cost to your success, a hard bargain, or an unsavory decision. So which of those three, like, speak to you in this moment?
You cut out just a little bit towards the beginning. Oh, cost to my success.
Yes, sorry.
A hard bargain. I want to say that. And does the cost of my success only revolve around me, or is it around something like a something happens, but an unfortunate situation comes of it, or how does that? How would you say that would work?
I would say, given the situation, it'd be you specifically, but a cost to your success could also involve your companions at a later date.
Okay. I think the cost to success should just reflect upon me. I don't know. I think it should just be my situation to deal with. So
Okay.
I don't really know what that means, but I'll go cost to success.
Okay, so you do manage to actually flip the table right as Maude is, like, very clearly about to launch herself at you. This little bit of a distraction does give you a kind of a little bit of, like, it's enough of a distraction to, as the, like, gun goes off. Originally it was going to be pointed, like, kind of directly in a more, like, dangerous part of your body, but instead you are, the gun is going to go off. It is just going to wing you, so you're going to take a minor, like, injury, like just a small clipping to your shoulder. And with the gunfire kind of going off in the bar, some people like kind of drop to the ground and start crawling out. Others are running out. Others are pulling out their own weapons. Somebody like takes a glass and like smashes it over another guy's face as they're having an argument. And there's just like all hell has broken out at this point. So that is what you've done initially in this situation. What's going on with everybody else? Lenore,
My ass
Ari,
dropped
Jackson.
into the ground.
Ari's
I
on
have
the ground.
dropped to the ground, but I'm also pulling out a gun, and because people always expect to be shot from like chest and face height, never from the knees up.
Go for the ankles,
Okay.
baby.
All
No,
right.
knowing Ari's going down there, Lenore's pulling up that table to block the miners, and then pulling out their this is my gun, like this is their special gun that like the family would know. That is like all black with like flowers and veins all down it, and she just like has it up like at a stance above Ari, like both levels like got.
Excellent. Are either one of you actually shooting in this moment? Which you can if you would like to.
Yeah, who shot at my boy?
Yeah, the woman that is in the like black pantsuit, like fired. The gun went kind of wide in the moment with the surprise of the table being flipped over. So yeah, Ari, if you are,
I think I'm stop, drop, and rolling. I drop on the way down. I don't. My knees don't bend. It's a full. My top half bends 90 degrees. My legs go out from under me. I fall flat. As I'm falling, I've pulled out my revolver. I start army crawling, but it's more like a worm wriggling. It's bad. There's a lot of hip movement and something that there shouldn't be. Yeah, and then I'm just kind of posting up underneath the table, and I'm still going, no, 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 no. I'm straight up almost crying. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at Pantsuit.
okay, then my only question is, are you like firing without a care or precision, or are we aiming and firing in this moment?
What?
So you have two moves, right? You can aim and fire.
Yeah. Okay.
With like when you take aim and fire at targets with care and precision, you roll plus reflexes. When you fire at targets without care or precision, you do spray and pray.
I mean, it's still the same stat, so there's really no point.
It just tells me what kind of gunman you are, gun person.
One who does not want to be here. One who would much rather be in a library where there are no guns. So it is 100% a spray and pray. I see her knee line and I say, please.
Okay, go ahead and roll for me. Like I said, it's roll plus reflex.
Awesome. This is why you don't take a -1 to reflex, because what would be a 7, a hit, goes to a 6, nothing. You ever try to shoot at knees? It's not that big of a target.
On a 6, you spend several rounds trying to land a hit, but fire wild. Spend time reloading. Spend time to reload and be able to shoot again. Yeah, I think it's just by the luck of whatever gods exist in this world that you haven't actually hit anybody that's running away in this moment. Lenore.
I mean, straight up, I'm bad at this. Straight up, if I empty out the gun, I will just throw the gun at her as well. It's not working. It's not going. I have 2 revolvers. I can afford to lose one.
Okay, we'll come back to you throwing the revolver in a second. Lenore, what are
Awesome.
you doing?
That'll be my next action.
to see it.
Lenore is going to use that and just put the weapon in close aim and use that spray to aim and fire at the person, but not to hurt them. They want answers, so they're going to try to like pin them down.
Okay.
So let's see, aim and fire.
Every other word you say is an innuendo, Mozz, and I need you to know that.
Okay, all right, Apollo. Stay over there.
It's 1 a.m. I can't ignore these things.
I think you could.
No.
Mozz, please continue.
That is a 7.
Okay, on a 7. Okay, so one of two options. Taking the shot places you in danger. Your shot is glancing and is less effective.
I'll take the danger.
Okay, awesome. You go ahead and fire this shot, and in doing so and actually hitting this individual, you can see immediately where Maude kind of rises, like just completely picks up the table and throws it and shatters it across the wall and turns and looks at you directly, very clearly like gunning for you in this moment because you have actually hurt their companion. You will be well, we'll see the consequences of that in a moment. Hey Jackson, what's going on over there?
Hey yo, okay, so the mystery person in the black suit has been shot, yes?
Correct.
And Maude has her sights set on Lenore.
Correct.
I'm gonna do something dumb.
Yeah, join me.
You love to see it.
So I have a move as the sneak called Never Saw Me Coming. I would like to, in the chaos of this moment, use the crowd and the noise and just the absolute bananas mayhem to actually get in behind Maude and get one of my many blades up under her chin.
Okay, all right, okay, yeah, ooh, that's nasty. I love that. Okay, so do you have anything you have to roll for that? Let's see. Ooh, yes, okay, so it's going to be... Okay, so it's... reflexes or cunning. I'm gonna say... Actually, I'll let you choose which one you think. I think it should be reflexes for this, since you're kind of snaking your way in and out. So do roll plus reflexes.
Well, that's gonna be a 12.
Nasty behavior. Okay, so you're gonna gain 2 depth, and what you...
the dice.
Yeah.
The dice are agreeing with me for once.
Ooh, I love it. So with the death, you can lure an enemy out of cover into danger. You can temporarily stun, daze, or confuse an enemy. You can disrupt an element of the enemy's attack plan. So which of those 3 would you like to happen in this moment?
I think the one that makes the most sense, given that Maud's attention has turned toward Lenore, would be potentially disrupt an element of the enemy's attack plan.
Okay. So,
but what I'm envisioning is I want one of those instances where I can see that this person is going to go after my companion, and I would like them to seriously reconsider that.
Okay, so here's what I think happens. As you've kind of like honed in on Maude about to attack Lenore, you've kind of snaked your way through the crowd. It's very evident with like the display of strength, this person is a vampire. Your companions, yourselves, have like started manifesting weird abilities, unsure what this individual is about to do, but does kind of reach their hand out as if they're about to do something. You kind of come in and immediately make yourself known to them, and instead of looking at like eyes focus on Lenore right now, kind of look at you as you've kind of come in, done some damage to them, made them reassess like, oh, okay, you're actually going to be a problem that you're right here next to me, unlike the good doctor. And is going to, in that moment, actually turn to you instead. And in doing this, you were actually like coming in with one of your knives and whatnot to cut them, correct? To actually show that.
Yeah.
In doing so, I am gonna, okay, so they've taken some damage from you doing this, and in doing so, as they start to bleed, you watch the blood kind of float out of their arm and coagulate into like a shard, and it immediately kind of launches at you instead. Can you please do a react to danger for me? That is going to be roll plus reflexes to dodge this.
Nasty.
That's a 9.
Okay, let's see. All right, so on a 9, you do manage to dodge mostly out of the way, but you are going to take a minor wound to your we'll say to your shoulder, like as the shard of blood just kind of barely grazes you as well. Let's see. Back to our good doctor then. What are you doing? Okay, so the person in the black suit has been shot and is heavily injured, but not like but isn't in danger of like dying or bleeding out in this moment. The blood is kind of coursing down their shoulder at this point, hot red. Kind of the pumping of the heart is like louder in your ear at this point. Now blood's actually been spilled. There is chaos all around you. Other people are firing their guns as well. Bar brawl happening in this moment. What are you doing as Mozz is focused on Jackson, who has just kind of appeared out of nowhere?
Oh,
Homie, you're
Ooh,
muted.
yeah, you're mute. Okay. I thought it was just me. I was
Sorry.
like, God,
no,
my internet.
I thought I clicked it, but I didn't hit it all the way down. That's on me. So I had two thoughts. My first thought was, I don't know if I want to attack Mozz because I feel like they are more dangerous being a full vampire. I mean, I think I see in like this split-second situation of blood coming out of them and then them using it as a weapon. My other thought is to getting to pantsuit person to try and kind of use them as like a bargaining tool of sorts. So what I'm thinking of doing is basically getting behind them to staunch the bleeding and be like, and kind of just like use them as like a reasoning of like, let's talk this out kind of a thing, as opposed to kind of a way to at least stop this section of the fight. Like the rest of the saloon is probably going to keep doing what it's going to do, but that's my thought process, is maybe just to kind of bargain by aid, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'm gonna say that this is gonna be, I think the best thing for this will be manipulate, which will be a roll plus your smarts. Bargain, actually, before you do that.
Okay. Or would it be... No.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say manipulate. I'm gonna say manipulate, and you're actually going to like heal the wound that this individual has taken at this point, with your own medical expertise. Is that what you're trying to do in this moment? Like
at least partially be like, okay, let's relax here.
Okay.
And that's a 10. That's
Okay.
a 10 total.
Okay. All right. So I think, so you go in to this suited individual. You begin to do a little bit of aid on them. There is the gun is hanging kind of, still managing to grasp onto the gun despite the fact that they've been shot in that shoulder, the blood trickling flowing down at this point. Mozz is like otherwise engaged with Jackson, kind of turns and looks at you, actually like what you're doing to this individual, teeth like fully extended and just out at you. And as you're actually helping them with Jackson kind of nearby and Lenore having done a decent amount of damage to this individual, what do you actually say to this person as you try to manipulate and reason with them?
Mozz, does this person mean anything to you? Because I can resolve this really quickly in a positive way, or we can continue this fight and you may lose them. And he doesn't look at Mozz when he says this because he's focused on this wound. Like the forceps that he was polishing, he is now basically using to try and pull the bullet out of their shoulder.
I think there's like there's a pause. Mozz again looks around. kind of straightens out her dress, wipes away the still flowing blood. Fine. Outside then for a conversation.
Well, it'll have to wait because if we take this person outside, infection, likely. And the forceps come out, and there's this just like ragged looking bullet, and Stacy kind of holds it up to the light for a second to just like check it over to see if there's like maybe like any dents or anything in it, because she's trying to see if it hit bone. And I'm gonna say it didn't, but you can change your mind on that. And then he just kind of just like brings it close to his face to kind of like gauge the temperature of it, and then licks it, and then just like puts it into a little like rag and sets it aside, and begins to like pull some gauze out of his bag. Listen, you're gonna want to keep this packed, and if your friend Maud over here is any indication, you're going to want to clean this vigorously, or you will have trouble, not just infection, but you know, like a quick knowing like flash glance at Maud to be like, hey, like this is gonna be like dinner bell for vampires. Then he pulls out this like wooden chunk out of his bag and hands it to them, and he's like, you may want to bite on this. And then pulls out like a small bottle of like grain alcohol and just like dumps it into the wound real quick.
Doesn't take it, you dump it in. Doesn't shout.
I tried. You're brave. And then begins to like slowly suture the wound up. Not doing the most precise job because Maud has asked for a conversation, so like he's not trying to delay this too long. But getting to it and trying to bandage it up a little bit.
I think when you're like, because there's a conversation, you're going faster than you normally would, like kind of towards the end of it, the bartender like kind of comes back, who's just been like watching this like wide-eyed, like what the hell is going on in my bar, has like bent down, pulled out this massive, ooh, Jackson, yes, what would you like to do in this situation?
Okay. So clearly some weird shit has just happened in full view of the public. Is it just the bartender, or are there other denizens still here?
I mean, there are other people that are literally still, like, there are people fighting. There are people who are on the ground who are just like, I'm just gonna stay down until this ends. The miners who are like literally cowering behind the table at this point, like, what the hell is going on? I think looking around, the bartender is probably the only one that has like really focused it, like, because this whole thing started with like a gunshot happening, right? And like the fight broke out. The bartender is probably the one that's like honing in on like has been looking at every single fight, like what the fuck is going on, and has noticed the like vampiric nature or the weird nature of things, versus the others who have like ran out, dropped to the ground, or used this opportunity to start their own fights.
Okay. So Storyteller, if you will allow it, we have a little section on our character sheets called Weird Ruination. There is a section that isn't filled out. It says you can add your own.
Correct.
Could I potentially, as I speak to this bartender, make my voice a little more pleasing? Maybe make them a little more inclined to actually listen to the words that I'm telling them?
I love that. Actually, yes.
I don't like, we don't need to go full like V5 dominate, compel, mind whammy, but you know, just a little, I'm gonna be a little more persuasive than maybe I usually would be.
I like that. Okay, let's see. Your Weird Ruination. Let's see. Okay, so what exactly are you saying to this individual? Because as you are using your weird ruination, this like,
Oh, PJ, we lost you for a second.
I'm going to. What exactly does your what do you say as you're using your weird ruination, as this is like a new manifestation of your vampiric abilities?
So I'm bleeding, first of all. But second of all, I'm gonna make sure that the fangs have not popped down. But I'm gonna smile and I'm gonna sort of tip my head and say, Shaya, I'm sorry. I know this ain't what you had in mind for your establishment this evening, but I think it might be time for me to close up shop a little bit early. You see, I'd be more than happy to make sure that me and my friends don't leave too much of a mess behind, but we need the room.
No, that's probably a really good idea. Please roll a d6 for me, friend.
Oh god, oh god. Hold on. That one's under the desk. A 5.
Okay. Okay, so as you do this, and the bartender agrees to this, and does actually, and like fires off the shotgun, into the air, into the ceiling, and everybody just kind of stops for a second. Everybody out! Get out right now! And just like kind of brings the shotgun over to the like individuals that were like having like a little fucking mini shootout in like the back of the bar for whatever fucking reason. Out or you get shot. And immediately people are like guns down, running out. People that were like on the floor also rush out. The miners kind of like look up. The one that was about to fight Ari like immediately just kind of runs out. The kind of skinnier one that was more able to like actually talk. I think we all gotta go, but you know, you'll probably be fine. And like takes the other two and leave. Then the bartender himself kind of, once everybody's like piled out at this moment, kind of looks around, looks at you. Takes the shotgun, walks out, closes the doors, doesn't lock anything, and just, you can hear them walking a little ways away, opening another door and locking it. As that is happening, the bar has emptied out, save for the 6 of you. Jackson, you can feel... Now, your own heart doesn't beat, or it beats so slow that you can't even feel it. But you can feel like that non-existent heartbeat pick up just slightly. You can feel like blood slightly moving through your veins. You kind of feel this constricting and pulling throughout your body. What are the rest of you doing in this, like, the fight? Everybody else is cleared out. Maude is currently standing within arm's reach of their companion, but has not moved at all besides that, and is just looking at all of you in turn.
I over like one of the flipped tables, just my head slowly comes into view. Hello.
You wanted to talk? There's nobody here.
Okay. Why all of this? Also, your blood wrong.
Before I answer this, I don't want Jesse here. Jesse, leave. Maude, go. Is anybody stopping Jesse walking out of this bar?
Lenore would have their gun kind of trained on them.
Okay.
But they're looking at Maude. They're just like, they're saying in their face, like, I need to know we're going to be safe. So your friend can't leave yet.
All right. Jesse, come over here behind me. Despite whispering to Maude this, you can hear, I can take care of myself. Maude doesn't actually respond to that statement though and looks at the rest of you. Kind of puts back on that smile that they had previously. Well, this didn't go quite to plan.
You don't say.
You had a plan?
To be perfectly honest, Shay, you're the one that decided to start swinging first, so,
Not a good plan.
no.
In the interest of being transparent, I wouldn't have tried to flip the table if I hadn't seen your fangs come out and felt the threat from. For what it's worth, I was going to answer your question.
And what was your answer going to be?
Exsanguination by a hereto unknown assailant.
Technically, right?
Of course.
A little bit wrong.
Well, you didn't specify from whom.
All right, well, how about this? I'll give you the information you want. We go our separate ways. You don't see me or Jesse again.
As long as you can guarantee that second part.
And that Jesse sees another actual doctor for that wound. You don't want it to get infected. Very close to the heart.
I'll
Actually, probably a good plan.
I'll take care of Jesse. Kind of watch I hand reach back and Jesse immediately grabs it and squeezes it. Okay, well, mostly I was paid for this. Partly a little bit of a compulsion, I guess, but the money did help as well. Are you
Who
familiar?
buy?
Why?
Who buy? Who paid
Who
you?
buy? You familiar with a vampire named Armand? About 6'2", brownish skin, very.
We
wavy.
missed the name, I'm afraid.
Armand.
Oh, that bitch.
That's son of a...
That
Dr.
Seems
Cassidy
familiar.
smiles real wide when you say the name.
My understanding is that you've been following them, and they wanted that to stop. They might have. I don't know if you know me by reputation or not. I wasn't always like this, unsurprisingly. They actually turned me kind of recently, but I don't do anything unless I'm paid, so.
Yeah, no,
They
do that.
hearing that Lenore literally puts their gun down, and you see them put it away and just. We are bound by the same blood, no?
Oh, that's your relation. I couldn't really get a clear answer on what was going on with that. Sure. I don't really care about any of that bloodbound business unless you can't compel me to do anything, right?
You want to
I
try?
am.
Absolutely. I think all of us just kind of look and we all at the same time. So you want to try?
No, actually, I don't.
Ooh.
Right. So yeah, I don't care about any of that. Listen, I'm just a bounty hunter. The two of us get paid to do this. They turned me, didn't turn Jesse. So trying to figure out how to do that. Do you know how to do that?
Where did you meet to get this job?
Oh, here. They were here. Yeah, they were here.
Okay.
Lenore would move closer to the doctor and Jesse and pull out some medical supplies, and we'll start working on the doctor just to help them up if they're like wounded, like, or still feel like they'll be like just like saying, "Are you all right? How are you feeling?" But they'll take a couple things and like glide it across the floor to Jesse.
Jesse will kind of reach down and like kind of grab it with the good arm. But yeah, no. Do you know how to turn somebody else into a vampire? I've been trying to do it with Jesse, and I've been having a little bit of a hard time. I don't want to drain her. It's actually a little hard not to do that though. It's a bit fun.
If I may, just a moment. You may want to stop trying. Jesse, you may have what's called hemochromatosis, very high iron in the blood. You may want to, if you have something specific in your diet, you may want to change that. Just like says it, no further explanation. I mean, I did do the, you didn't see me with the blood and the bullet.
No, I was a little, I might have been a little preoccupied.
Right. Anyway, just a quick taste. Very high iron. I mean, I'm not a vampire doctor by any stretch of the imagination, but you may want to stop trying so that you don't harm Jesse. But you may also want to stop trying because the blood's a little bad. Sorry.
Okay, but do you know how to do it properly?
No.
I heard stories if that's what you want.
No, I'm sure we've probably heard the same stories. We'll figure it out. I've told you what I know. I guess I'm not getting paid that second half.
So, just to be clear, was that a ruse, or do you actually want to give me the information if I was gonna answer your question?
Oh, no, I was gonna answer your question, whatever you were gonna ask me, but,
Then you would have tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Understood.
I keep my word. Do you have a question that I can answer, since you did get it right, technically? This right here is, of course, me bargaining for mine and Jesse's life, so I guess technically it doesn't count.
Well, we all have our reasons for wanting to see Armand. So, if you know anything as to where we could find him, that would be quite appreciated.
All right, I guess I can give you that last little bit of information since you asked. When I was done, I was supposed to either kill you or make it perfectly clear to you that you shouldn't be following them. We were gonna meet at Dry Hollow, the work encampment. It's trying to make itself into a proper town. About 3 days south of here.
I'm familiar.
Right, well, that's where Armand said they'd be.
Well, I'll look at the others.
Horse time.
Horse time.
Horse
Yeah,
time.
go ahead.
Lenore will like whistle for their horse, and they'll like take like anybody's leftover hat and just like take it and just like nod to Maud and Jesse and open up the door and like have their gun to let everyone pass before they go through it.
It's been
Any
Go ahead, Apollo.
any books? If anybody had a book here, even though I doubt it, I'm taking that shit.
I
It's mine now.
mean, Maud literally had an anatomy book in a different language, so...
Now, is that book on the table?
It's on the floor because the table got flipped and then shattered.
It's mine now.
Okay. It's an anatomy book in French.
I speak French.
Excellent. And as you're
Well, it says here that I can read all manner of evil, demonic, and black magic script, so French falls into that.
sure.
It's my personal belief.
Okay, that's super fine. Honestly,
Or I just know French.
you know,
'cause
I
know
think all
French.
European languages. I'm kidding. French definitely falls into that. That's super fine for the purposes of this.
Can I
Dark
be
magic.
a shithead?
I support shitheadery all the time. Please, come on.
As Jackson is sort of picking up their effects and leaving, I'll just sort of turn and look at Mod and like look at the sleeve that I cut. Like I'm sure there's some like lovely like lace trim on that sleeve. And I just like you might want to take that to a seamstress, yeah. And I'll sort of grin and walk out.
It's been a perfect displeasure to meet any of you. I hope we never see each other again.
Lenore holds a smile like as soon as they hear Jackson say that, and they just tip their hat and like leave.
I'm good.
Waiting. Yeah.
I take the book, I just make eye contact with Maud. You're not good enough for my moral dilemmas. And I walk away.
And with that, as the four of you leave the Silver Dollar with more information than you started with, that's where we're going to take a short break. Folks, we'll be back soon to continue this bloody tale.
Fun.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're very excited to get this game continued, and we're going to pick back up exactly where we left off with our 4 companions having managed to not get killed by the bounty hunter duo Mozz and Jesse, and getting the information they wanted about a certain sire of theirs named Armand, have taken off on their horses towards Dry Hollow, a 3 nights ride south. So tell me, what's going on these 3 nights with y'all? Any conversations or anything of the such?
I think completely irrelevant to the mission at hand. Ari is just going around to everyone and just running them through a couple variations of the trolley problem, just so that he can get an idea of where they're on the surface level. It's just because he likes talking and he likes hearing people out. On a strategic level, he wants to know if things get tough, who is most likely to sacrifice other members of the team for the mission.
Meanwhile, Dr. Cassidy is treating the wounds, basically, because I have a feature that allows me to do that. So, Jackson, you no longer have to worry about your shoulder wound. And then I'll take care of my own probably the next day. But
Lenore sees this as close to a family as they've ever had. So they're kind of just going around and just checking on everyone, especially the recent ones who joined it. So they're like checking up, maybe like waiting to talk to Ari for a bit because they don't need to listen for an hour about all philosophies of life. So maybe they're just like taking their horse and just like, oh no, and like letting the horse like take it through a little bit.
Oh yeah, well then the Epicureans, and then it's just like keep going. I'm really trying to get you to
Or when
really understand Plato.
is catching up and just like pushing the horse even more.
Rocinante, come on, we have to talk about the trial of Socrates.
Wait a minute! Let me tell something to you.
That's a lot of what I'm doing. I'm just by the time we get where we're going, all of you have like a minor degree in philosophy.
Oh my god.
Unwilling.
Wholly unwilling.
I will be expecting essays. I have assigned you all homework.
Absolutely not. I hate to tell you this, but I'm not doing that.
Oh, but it's
I am
fun.
doing that. No.
Oh, but it's fun.
You and I have very different ideas of what's fun.
You get to argue why you're right, and everyone else can go suck your dick. It's great. That's half of philosophy. Half of philosophy.
I spent a lot of time in school. I am done with homework. Sorry.
You know what? You're a doctor. I respect it.
I did not spend nearly as much time in school, but I don't really have the patience for that. So I just stick with what I'm good at.
Oh, neither do philosophers. Half of philosophy is just people. It's just old men saying, "Yes, my ancestors said this, but they're wrong and they suck. I'm right. Here's why."
That sounds like the most insufferable thing you could ever put yourself through.
It really is, except when you're doing it and you're right.
While they're riding, the doctor takes a really long swig of just like a flask, and then just kind of like tosses it into the saddlebag on Oath while they're listening.
No, as Jackson is being yapped at, it's just grabby hand toward flask. No, I ain't doing this sober. Give me that.
I think at one point I just say, at what point did you stop looking at humans as people and start looking at them as food?
Well,
Doc, help me.
I really don't know if you want to do this, Jackson.
What is it? Is that what's the flask? Is it not whiskey?
No.
Do we not have who? Did none of you have any fucking whiskey? Is that what I'm hearing? Me.
Lenore will take out a flask and just like toss it to Jackson.
You share my new favorite. No. Take a nice big swig.
New
You'll
favorite? Does
feel
that
like
imply
it's-
that I was the old favorite? Can I have been?
If it makes you sleep better during the day, share.
I wish these horses could talk just so that I could be a little shit to Ari right now.
Rocinante
but they
can.
don't.
He just doesn't.
Excuse me.
He can. He just doesn't have much to say. But he only speaks Spanish. This is the Rocinante from Don Quixote. I stole him.
You stole Don Quixote's horse?
He wasn't using it. He's dead.
No, this feels like another one of his stories.
Oh no, I just got started with that shit.
And
then
now
there's
the
kind of
ethics
thinking
of
of the
stealing.
Slightly Oath and Dr. Cassidy kind of like sidle up to Jackson, and he pulls out the flask again and goes, "Smell, don't drink," and passes it over.
Squint. Like the most squinty of the squints that someone could squint.
It smells like iron so bad.
Ooh. Alright, no, I see what you're saying. There you go, Doc. I won't ask again. Me.
I mean, if you really want to, just wanted you to
Nope.
know.
But I appreciate the information, and now I know for the future. Is it,
VJ,
That's
it's got
okay.
like rose water and blood in it.
is that just something you've been just keeping on hand?
Well, trying my best not to lose myself, as it were. Cows are good for that,
Please.
and the rose water keeps it from coagulating so much, at least temporarily, and it helps helps for sleep.
I think I understand that. It is a long and winding road that we are walking down. But we finally found PbtA, ain't it?
Right.
Jackson sort of sucks their teeth, like runs tongue along one of the fangs.
I think at this point, unless there's any other conversation anybody wants to have here, the 3 days kind of come and go with you having to stop each day as the sun's rays peeks over. Each day, it's easy enough to find either a cave, an abandoned building to hole up in, or simply digging a hole deep enough in the sand and burying yourself there as not to be set alight by the rising rays of the sun. And then each night, as soon as they set, you awaken immediately knowing that the sun has tucked itself away for a number of cool and freeing hours. And at the end of those 3 days of travel, right as or those 3 nights of travel, right as you're getting to Dry Hollow, Laura, when you awaken for that night, what's different about Jackson's appearance?
Jackson, I mean, is as human as you can look when you're a fucking vampire. Medium brown skin, curly brown hair that's cropped close on the sides and like kind of longer and like floppy towards the front. Like I said, sort of wiry dancer runner's build, and really dark brown eyes. Their eyes are no longer brown. they are red.
I think as the rest of you kind of awaken, I think this in particular was one of the nights where you actually had to bury yourself in the ground.
We lost a bunch of that, babe. I'm sorry.
Pookie, return to us.
You know, I think this is I think this is one of those times where you had to actually bury yourself in the ground. And as you all begin to climb out, looking around at each other, you immediately notice Jackson's eye color, having spent, some of you, a lot of time together, but all of you time together and knowing what each of your companions look like.
This leads me to a great question. What vampire myth / symptoms do we have? Can we be seen in reflections? Is there like anything specific that like we would know would repel us, etc., etc.? Like, what are we dealing with? Don't have to give me a full answer, but like,
yeah, no, I'd say, assuming the fact that, you know, y'all have been like asking questions, looking for like testing out like some various things that you've heard about and whatnot, you are, so first, you're not riding in sunlight, so each night you're like, or each day, you know, when the sun's coming, you're going to find a place to hide. So you know sunlight is dangerous and painful to you. You know that you aren't seen in the reflection of most mirrors. I think there's been one or two where you've actually seen yourself, so unsure exactly what's going on with that. You've heard rumors about silver bullets being particularly harmful to you. Not true. Anything will harm you, but you do need a stake through the heart to like permanently kind of kill you, as far as you're aware at this moment. And garlic, you can't enter a private domain without an invitation from somebody inside. But yeah, those are the kind of... There are other myths floating around, like, oh, you could have the ability to levitate. You can enthrall people with your mind, which you know is actually true. You have been able to do that prior to like waking up one day and having like this sort of like weird feeling coursing through you, as if something has changed beyond your standard kind of powers. Rumors that you can turn into a bat, you can shapeshift into other people. Like, you haven't found any evidence of anything of those kinds of ones, but there are certain ones that you're like, okay, these are clearly true.
Cool. Jackson, if I may approach.
What's the matter, Doc?
He like takes his glasses off and like rubs them on his shirt and then replaces them on his face. He won't find that in any medical journal that I've read. Speaking of red, your eyes.
What about him?
I mean, I'm not an eye doctor, but they are no longer the color that they were.
Well,
not really a change I would imagine you would notice on your own, so I thought I would be the one to tell you.
No, to be fair, it's been a long time since I've seen my face in a mirror. Thanks, Doc.
Don't mention it.
We got more important things to worry about. Let's go.
You have about 2.5 more hours from where you are before you get to Dry Hollow. Any conversations happening in that time before you get there?
Lenore would be, I think every night that they're like settling in somewhere, they would have been the words of Ari, even though they're persistently trying to avoid it, were kind of getting into their head slowly, little bit by little. And they're questioning to the group, like, why are we even trying to look for Mozz? And that mod wanted to turn their lover into one of us so quickly. I've always felt torn, because the desire for life and the hunger, it seems ridiculous that one was just so quick. And she just takes like a big swig of she's like, at night she's either singing or drinking from the flask and like dancing around. If they have like a little fire or something, or if they're hiding out in like a cave or something like that, they're kind of just like using that moment to kind of release. So on this ride, the 2 hours back, she's just like asking to everyone like, why are you even looking for this for a month?
It's not something I'm particularly proud of, but Dr. Cassidy pulls his medical bag off of Oath and rummages through it a bit, and then pulls out a long wooden stake. Ultimately, it's going to be him or me.
She'll kind of like flare her teeth at it for a second, like.
I know. Like I said, not exactly proud of it, but he was threatening to harm someone outside of my practice, and well, part of this is my own fault for speaking, well, cheekily, I guess. And that's how I got where I am. So I think he should understand and know that I didn't appreciate it. And that does go against the oath, but I figure at that point it's going to be a bit moot. And wraps the steak back up and stuffs it back into his bag.
Do all of you want to kill him?
He killed me first.
That's true.
Ripped my fucking throat out. Left me for dead. In a goddamn alley. And Jackson, part of what Jackson wears, it's the dark shirt, the dark Wranglers, the dark cowboy boots, and a bandana that the rest of the group has occasionally seen like pulled up over their nose and mouth, depending on what sort of ill-gotten things they're up to. Jackson will actually pull the bandana off of their neck, and their throat is just a horror of scar tissue. You know what it feels like to bleed out?
Unfortunately.
If I do, I don't remember.
I could tell when I was first traveling that we can make it hurt less. But our mind didn't seem to give a shit.
Oh.
So I suppose then it sounds like it's us or him.
It does seem that way, Doctor. Jackson will put the bandana back on to cover the scars.
They'll look to Ari, just. And you?
Oh, but our man was the only person who would really talk to me when I met him. He was passing through my university. We spent some time together. He would let me talk to him when we would discuss philosophy, history, anthropology. while I helped him out with his experiments, I didn't really know what he was doing. But one night, I woke up and he was gone, and I miss having someone to talk to.
That sounds like more like the Armand I remember. The one I did not. Armand that came to me, my studio, it blew up in flames. That was it. I've already close to the door, knocking on it, heaven in my reach. But he was interested. He came through in my life, in and out, buying portraits, paintings, talking in my ear. Never thought of it. The next thing I know, I am alive. Everything aflame, burned. And he was interested, as he was with you. And then he vanished, like smoke. I wonder if he remembers me at all. I think he likes pretty things. And smart ones. Those who flicker
I was about
and
to
flame.
say, because that makes sense for you, but
She was like referencing like just those who have like just creative ability or a little bit more than like people who like shimmer just a little bit brighter. And so she's like she'll kind of like her eye will kind of point to the book that's in your hand, like the what you carry, and she just, and then he gets bored and just gone. That's all I know of him. What he did to you, mon ami.
oh no.
You are all I know. You three.
Well, if you all want to kill him, that not like I could stop you. I'll help if I can, but back to square zero. Finding people to listen. I eternity.
Harry, I know I gave you all sorts of shit for your proclivities, your intelligence, but I don't mind it. I may not understand it entirely. I don't hope I ever burden up an overabundance of schooling,
I appreciate that.
but all I'm saying is I don't want to face a time either.
Well, let's go kill our father.
And with that, the 2.5-hour ride comes to a close. You crest a hill and can see a little bit further down the work encampment of Dry Hollow, and you can also see how it's trying to turn itself into a town. There are kind of at the center of it a lot of makeshift tents around this man-made quarry they're currently working on, and then more structured buildings. Also, as you get closer and closer, immediately your senses pick this up. So much blood. It's the first thing that you notice, and then as you actually get into the Dry Hollow encampment proper, your eyes, even in the darkness, these honed and sharpened eyes of a predator, immediately can see the trails and splotches of blood all over the ground. And I think in the faintest distance, still within like Dry Hollow, but further away than you currently are, you can hear like the quiet please stop, please.
Normally the doctor would rush right to that particular person, but Doc's a little gun shy now. Are there dead bodies around?
As you've kind of immediately come in, you're not seeing any dead bodies around. You are seeing like very clearly the enough blood to be like, okay, there are multiple dead people here. There's no way they survived this, right? Unless I was gonna say unless they're vampires, but like the smell of it, it's not quite fresh, right? A couple of hours old, but it is not the dead smell that you are used to smelling when like you or your companions have bled before, when your companions bled in the fight, when Mozz was bleeding as well. This is very much the drying blood of living beings. But no bodies in this moment.
Okay. He's gonna quick grab like a scalpel out of his bag and kind of just like, I don't have anything like it. So like, kind of just like pressing it up against his finger so that it's kind of hidden, you know, like someone wouldn't see that he's got it, but it's kind of just like palmed in his hand. And he's gonna start kind of crouch, like moving towards this sound, this person.
The rest of you following suit or doing something else?
Yeah, I'm following behind.
Can I use one of my other moves, Storyteller?
Yeah, please tell me about it.
So as previously stated, I am the sneak. I'm the sneaky one, the rogue adjacent, as you will. I have something called trespasser. When I want to get into a building, structure, or premises I'm not supposed to be, I roll for it. So, would you allow me to roll with reflexes?
Yeah, go ahead and roll with reflexes, please.
11.
Ooh, 11. I do like that. Okay, so
I'll never roll this well ever again.
Okay.
Real.
So with an 11, actually before I adjudicate that, what is Lenore doing in this moment?
Lenore is having their gun ready. They're not trusting this to be something, well, civil, so they're not gonna be civil themselves.
Okay.
But seeing everyone being cautious, they wouldn't just go on like ready to, you know, blast everything. They're just They're also kind of looking for any balconies, any things like that, where they could be a sharpshooter. Kind of just eyeing around if they need that.
Yeah, so like kind of immediately where you've come in at, there's almost exclusively just tents. Like you have to get further into Dry Hollow to actually find like buildings, and then even a little bit further in to find like 2-story buildings. Like this is very much in the beginnings of becoming like a small or maybe larger town. Well, it was a dream of that. Who's to say if that's ever going to happen now with all of the carnage? And as you're kind of like going further and further in, you do begin to see like the bodies kind of strewn about. Like kind of moving further in, you could see that where there was kind of blood smeared, as if somebody had attacked and like pulled the bodies like out of further out of sight, like stuffed them in the tents, moved them around, etc. So here's the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
With that, seeing the bodies, they'll like kind of like click to more when their horse to kind of slow down a little bit. And what they're going to do is their sharpshooter ability is to join that scene on a nearby roof or balcony if it's feasible for them to do. Okay. They're gonna kind of do it like slowly and just be like click to their horse and also for the doctor and Ari to know that they're kind of slow in a way.
Okay, yeah, I think it's completely possible for you with your honestly, I kind of imagine that y'all just all have like this amazing like just like leap on to like you can get up to a first or second story building pretty easily. Easy enough to do that. So here's the thing that all 4 of you are very much aware here, right? If you can hear that person off in the distance, despite the fact that you yourselves are like quiet, sneaky predator creatures of the night. Other vampires also have that same honed sense, so there's just as likely a chance of like them hearing you even with you being quiet, except for Jackson, who is just supernaturally quiet, even amongst vampires. And so while while one of you has leapt on top of a building, the other two are sneaking towards your fourth sneakier companion has kind of gotten ahead of you, and easy enough, you immediately, it's a building kind of almost on the just very outskirts of what would be this town that's built up so far. There isn't even a door on this building. It's a 2-story building, kind of sneaking in, easy enough to get through. You can see and you can hear better this individual whose voice is getting weaker and weaker. Please, I got my kids, my wife, please. There is just a figure hunched over this person, just has their throat, their hands around their like head and shoulder, and just I wouldn't say is gnawing at their throat at this point. Like, you can hear the slurps and you can smell the fresh blood, and you can hear this individual's heart slowing and slowing and slowing in this moment. But yeah, Jackson, you were the first person there.
I want the dice to make this decision, Storyteller. What would I roll for, like, self-control?
Ooh, grit. Say roll grit.
There's not a modifier there, so, woohoo! That's a 3.
Ooh, okay. So just so I'm clear here, is this self-control to stop yourself from joining in on drinking from this person? Like, what are we talking here? What's happening with this failure?
Oh, to stop myself from taking one of my many, many daggers and throwing it straight at Armand's head.
Yeah, no, I don't think that you've actually, curbed that instinct. So yeah, go ahead and roll. I think that should be aim and fire for you. Yeah. So go ahead and roll plus reflex for me.
That's a 12.
Nasty behavior. Okay, so this individual is slumped, literally has their back towards you. You can see the face of the person that they're currently like drinking from. With a 12, I'm gonna say you do a major injury, and you tell me where you hit on this person.
So like, what I picture is Jackson has managed to like creep through this not quite town, past the tents and the ramshackle buildings, through the shadows, and comes upon this scene, and I remember the fear and the pain, and feeling my heart try to pump blood that wasn't there. And this some bitch is just doing it. So in one smooth, vicious motion, there's the whistle of a blade, and it just like right in the muscle next to the neck.
I think as you throw that and it hits right there, our two other companions do arrive in to like see this happening. The three of you now can hear the heartbeat starting to like kind of stutter and give way. There's no hope for this individual that this hunched over in person has been draining. But as you hit this individual in the back of the neck. The head kind of comes back, a cry of pain kind of whirls around and looks at you, and it's not Armand. This person can be no older than 19, 20. A young woman with short brown hair, tanned skin, just kind of a wild look in her eyes, and kind of looks at you all and then kind of pulls the knife out, throws it on the ground, and scurries back against the wall. At this point, just kind of looking at you, blood covered face, clothing drenched in it as well.
Are we there yet?
Yes.
Have we made it? Okay.
Yes. You've seen this. You came in right as Jackson has actually thrown the dagger and hit this woman in the back of the neck, and saw that whole scene unfold before you.
I'm going to maneuver around the perimeter of this particular situation to see if I can get closer to this person that's not going to make it.
Yeah, no, more than you can easily do that. This other woman, this individual, has just kind of pulled herself back into a corner and just kind of hands out and is just staring wildly at the three of you.
I'm slowly moving towards the body. I'm not a fighter, and I don't want any surprises.
Yeah, no worries. Kind of getting closer to the body. Again, you can hear as the heart is slowing, beating slower and slower. Unless there is some magic out there you're not aware of, this person is clearly, at least not a vampire, and is clearly in their last moments of their life.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I can do for you.
I think as you look down into the face of this man who's got these just long flowing, would be golden locks if they weren't kind of matted down with blood. These very despite all of the blood, it's very pale, but despite all that, very piercing, focused green eyes, kind of tries to lift their hand or reach in their pocket and is unable to do so, and just kind of looks at you, and then eyes jerk down to the pocket.
I'm gonna use the hand that has the scalpel in it, and just slowly grab whatever he's referencing.
Okay, you reach into the pocket and easily enough you pull it out. It is a photograph. It is a picture of a young girl. Clearly you can see the family resemblance between the two, and is very you look back into this individual's eyes. It's very clearly this is what he wants to see in this last moment before everything ends.
I transfer the photo to my other hand and just flip it so that he can see it.
And as you do so, just kind of looks up at you, just this grateful look, just in those two eyes, looks back down at it, and a few seconds later is gone.
I put the photo on his chest for a moment, then I'm going to close his eyes. And then I am going to kind of just cup his chin a little bit and try to be clairvoyant.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, roll plus smarts.
That is going to be a 10 total, 6, 2, and 2.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So, as you do this, you pierce through the veil of death, What do you think it looks like when you do that? Like, when you're doing this, do you think you're actually in like that place where the souls go next? Do you think you are in like?
I picture some like Inception style shit where like the camera kind of just like tilts and then we like flip up and we're just like in chairs together.
Okay, then yeah.
Like at a table.
Yeah, you see this individual sitting across from you, kind of looking around a little confused.
Greetings. Welcome to my parlor, I suppose. I know this could be very disorienting and confusing. I wish I had better answers for you, but we don't have a lot of time.
Wait, I just saw you.
You can call me Stacy.
Okay. Abraham
what
Olsen.
happened here? Abraham.
Addie, am I dead?
Listen, this isn't a, I'm not your doctor, so I can't make that distinction.
You can't tell me if I'm dead?
Sir.
I mean, legally, no, I can't.
What about illegally?
Yeah, probably. Listen, I don't mean to. I understand. Very, very rational response to what is happening, but you need to understand. I am now your link to the living world, and if you have any business, you need to tell it to me now. I do not have long.
You can't tell me if I'm dead. You can't legally fucking doctors. My daughter, Teresa. I'm saving up all of my money to send back to her and her mother. I need you to make sure that gets back to them. My tent. It's a small one. It's got a tear down the middle. It's buried underneath my sleeping bag.
Teresa, you said?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I promise to you, under my own oath, that I will do my best to fulfill that. I just need you to tell me what happened here, and please, quickly.
I don't know. Addie went.
Addie?
Yeah, Addie. She was one of the women that came to work, help out in the quarry, and I don't know. We had some guy come through. He stayed for a little bit. Him and Addie seemed to hit it off. She didn't come to work, and then the next night. Tonight she went mad. She started attacking everybody. She just burst out of her tent, she was in one of the buildings. She just burst out of one of the buildings and just went mad. And I ran. I ran and hid, and there was so much screaming. And then she came, and then
I see. Who else was here, Abraham?
In Dry Hollow?
No, with you tonight.
It was just I ran. As soon as she ripped off Loretta's arm, and I ran. I hid.
Loretta, huh? Who is Loretta?
No, she's one of the. I saw her rip off Loretta's arm at the tents. She's one of the other women that came to work with us, and I ran. There was nobody else in here with me. It was just me. I hid like a coward.
And then Addie found you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I found you.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham, I will keep your self-supposed cowardice to myself. I in my somewhat expert opinion, I think you are going to be safe from here. I wish you all the best. And Dr. Cassidy kind of gets up from the table and kind of just gives him a pat on the arm, and I'll give your regards to your family. And he kind of just like tilts forward as if he's like about to pass out, and then the camera just kind of flips again, and he's like where he was over Abraham's body, and immediately just like looks up right at Addie.
That Ari, what have you been doing as this was happening?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that are. They seem quite happy to give their little life stories. I'm not about that. I'm not about that life. Hey man, sucks to suck. Bad. Sorry, not me. I am casing the joint. I just want to be around this space, just kind of like, ooh, what does this do? And what does that do? If there is something on a table,
Like
my hands gonna be on it.
In this building. So unfortunately, because this place is just now being built, you are in a building that doesn't really have anything else in it. Like it clearly has
This
a
is
second.
hell.
Yeah, it clearly has a second story. It's clearly got like a counter that's being built that's probably for a storefront. Maybe it'll be a bar, but that's about it. Like this place is in its infancy of becoming an actual like inhabited.
You think I was bad when I was on the horse because you couldn't escape me and I was just yapping? I'm being left unattended. I'm walking around. There's a staircase going upstairs.
You head upstairs, large open space. There's nothing else. There's nothing up there, friend.
BJ, why are you doing this to me? I just made a curious little guy.
I told you this place was in its infancy. I don't know what you want from me, homie.
Okay. If there's nothing materially there, I think I just want to try to see. I desperately do not want to interact with any of these people. God, if someone tells me about their sorrows, I'll die a second time. So yeah. What are the entryways? What are the exits? How could people be moved in and out of here? I think I'm just
Of this building.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you have the front door, which doesn't even have a door on it. It's that like much new of a building, right? It's got the frame for it, but the door's not in there. You've got like 2 windows on like the western and eastern walls, and then at the top you've got windows like kind of all around the 4 walls. So you've got the front door, and you've got 4 windows downstairs, 8 windows upstairs.
Okay. I think beyond looking for signs of life, everyone else is good at talking to people in a way that matters. I'll just start asking them things that they do not have the mental capacity to right now be dealing with.
Who are you talking to?
Me?
Yeah, you. Who are you asking things to? Your
I'm talking to
companions?
myself. No, I'm talking to
Okay.
myself.
Okay. I was double checking. Okay.
Both Apollo and Ari are yapping to themselves
Okay.
because they feel very lost in this space.
With that, Lenore, we're gonna pop in to see you have gotten up on this 2-story building. You've got a great vantage point. I mean, you watched two of your companions go in there. I don't think you quite saw Jackson go in, but wouldn't be surprised for Jackson to be in there. You can't see inside from this angle, but you can see all around you. And kind of like looking around, now that you know what you're looking for, you can spot a variety of like bodies further in around the buildings and whatnot.
They feel like this is a trap. They don't feel comfortable, and they don't have enough information to like tell them away from this away from this path. So they're and it does, from where their vantage point, are those bodies that are pulled away, stuff like that, does that go in any direction close to them that they could inspect?
I mean, there are, so very much what you're seeing, it looks like most of the carnage started where the tents were, and those bodies were moved away from like that area closer to the building. So there are bodies around you that you can like kind of jump down and inspect.
They will, for their curiosity on what this is, will go down to inspect what they are. And if it looks like it was like one aggressor, two aggressors, like what is this?
Yeah, make
survey?
a roll smarts for me, please.
Is there any way that I can like help people, that I can help in this?
That you can
Is that thing?
help
Yeah,
Lenore? I think you can see, like, you're on the second. I think you can, like, if you're looking out, as you're talking to yourself and walking around, you can see, like, Lenore jump down from a building if you want to, like, go over to where Lenore is right now to help.
Yeah,
roll.
I find stairs.
Yeah, you find stairs. Lenore, you're investigating this. You kind of, I think you recognize your own, like, Kissmate's presence, so you know Ari is kind of approaching you in this moment. Ari, roll me a roll plus smarts, actually. Quick.
For me, it was an 8.
An 8, okay.
Ooh, gonna be good. That is an 11 on the die plus smart. 13.
Okay, so you are helping with like this investigation, however you decide that. With you helping, I'm gonna give you a +2 to that. So what are you, so you go down looking at these bodies, so you get, it's a 10+, so you get a couple of questions here. So one, you're trying to figure out how many assailants. Any other questions you're trying to figure out as you look at this body?
Any familiar assailants?
Okay, how many assailants?
Yeah.
Familiar assailants. Okay, I'd say looking at the body, it does appear like there was only one okay, I think from the bite marks it looks like there was only one individual involved. However, from like the way the body was kind of like, you're looking at a person who, like, somebody might have grabbed them either arm, just like pulled. Like, y'all are strong, but even that level of strength is like a higher degree than any of you have like seen or shown yourselves. So either it's one person, one vampire with a lot, like an enormous amount of strength, or two vampires, one, two of each have like grabbed aside and pulled, which two of you could do that, like two of you could do that together. And then only one of them drank from them, which could happen, technically speaking, but I mean, depending on the age of the two vampires, it's unlikely, like if they were younger, it's unlikely that only one of them would be drinking. You'd find another mark. If the other one was older and was able to just be like, yeah, I'm okay, I'm not actually gonna drink from this individual, possibly. So like there's evidence, there's an argument to be made that this could be one or two people. But if it is two people, it's definitely a younger vampire and an older one.
They're kind of on their, like, crouched down, like inspecting the faces as like Ari's walking up behind them, and they like smell Ari behind them, just like 1, 2. I don't. If it's something of a fight, our friends inside, they don't seem in danger.
Everything here is too quiet. I don't trust it.
I agree. I need them to come out sooner or later. This is frustrating me. And they'll kind of pull a couple of bodies away from if there's like a pathway or something like that, try to clear them away. And then look to Ari and just what have you found?
Literally nothing. And that's concerning in its own way, because if you were careless with these amount of bodies, you would leave a trail, but there's nothing. So that means smart. That means very smart. And I don't like that.
Cutting back to our companions inside. Jackson.
Yep.
Here is this woman in front of you. Well, you see in front of you kind of cowering and just kind of repeating over, I'm sorry, it was so, the blood was so loud and it tasted so good, I couldn't, and just like wringing her hands. Sorry.
Jackson's gonna pick up the dagger and sheath it again. And I'm gonna approach with my hands up. Shell, I'm sorry. I thought you were somebody else.
Just me, or maybe I'm not me. Maybe I'm something else now. Why is the blood so good? Why can I hear Abraham's?
What's your name, darling?
Addie Haas.
Okay, Addie. I think I can explain what's happening to you. Can you, this is gonna sound odd, but I'm just trying to help you, okay? Can you show me your teeth?
Like lifts up the gums, you can see pointed the sharpened canines.
I'll give her sort of a rueful smile so she can see.
What are you? What am I?
I believe the correct question is, what are we?
What did he do to me? What did he do to me?
He? Addie. He. Who is he?
There was a man. He came. He was funny. He thought I was funny. None of the others get they never laugh when I'm, and he thought I was funny, and he stopped it, and I thought we would just have a. What are we?
I'll look at the doctor and just sort of like shrug, like might as well. There are a lot of names for it, Addie. One you probably know most of all is vampire. They are the undead.
And I think as she's about to say something, like she immediately just kind of clutches her stomach. Just, what is this? Something pulling.
What's it pulling you towards?
I don't know. It feels.
Ooh. The doctor pulls his bag up to his side and reaches in for something.
what exactly are you grabbing out of that bag of yours?
Oh, you know what he's reaching for.
Me? I don't know
Yeah.
anything. Tell me about it.
He's reaching for the steak.
Okay. I think you can.
He hears a vampire say something. What is this pulling? Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not on his watch.
Okay, so I think as you reach in to get it, Addie kind of like lurches up and in a moment is there, and then shadows kind of coalesce and is not like right in front of you anymore, is by the door and is kind of stumbling along as if being pulled by like a cord, like somebody's just yanking on them, like is walking and stumbling. I think Lenore and Ari, y'all are out here and you obviously see Addie like running, half running, walking, partly kind of tripping as if they're being like dragged along and getting back up as well. They're mostly literally using their feet, but at various moments they'll just disappear in a smoke of shadows and reappear a few feet in front of them. What is that?
I think I might use a weird ruination myself. So I wrote one in that is called Traveling Through Shadows. So I'm going to run to the door and I'm going to see the closest shadow to where Addie is moving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like the Nightcrawler poof. So it's like similar to what she's going through, but it's kind of just like poof in a puff of smoke. And then like I'm just kind of just like skipping through the shadows of like lanterns that are outside.
Ooh,
So I can kind of try and keep up with her. I'm just like moving in those shadow spaces.
yeah, very easy, honestly easy enough to keep up with her, to even get ahead of her a bit, given that like it's very clear she's got this ability, but she's not the one doing, like she's not consciously doing it. Whatever is pulling her is very much like come closer, come faster, and like part of her is trying to do that and is like unconsciously using this ability to jump forward to do that. So
Point of order, I also have my medical bag like over my shoulder as this is happening, so it's with me.
Excellent. Okay, so you're doing that, Stacy. What are the rest of y'all doing as like you see this happening?
Shit. I'm not gonna let the doctor go in by him. Following willingly but unwillingly in like a grumpy kind of way, because I know that this is a fucking trap. It's a goddamn trap. Someone is pulling her in, and there's only one motherfucker who can probably like yank on people's strings like a goddamn puppet master, and we are running right towards him. Fuck.
Yeah, Lenore's doing the same thing with just, and they just take their gun and like load it, and just like they're pulling out their teeth ready to like just run at this. If anything, they don't like that someone that they see as family is probably threatened. So they are, if they have claws, their claws are coming out a little bit more. Like they're wanting to rip someone's. This is not like fun. Like you better not mess with my family kind of energy. So they're going in with that.
I am solidly hiding behind Lenore the entire time.
Yeah, Lenore pulls Ari back like behind them and just like, come on.
I am a man in my mid-40s and I am cowering. I'm like,
You know, I support this behavior. I actually love that, honestly.
There are too many sexy vampires. We need more pathetic man vampires.
I agree.
That's what I'm bringing to the table.
Sparrow, can you roll a d6 for me?
Yeah, I got a 1.
Okay, so that is going to be one step on your weird ruination. Start thinking about what that change looks like. Again, you kind of feel your non-existent heartbeat begin to pick up a little bit. The blood slowly flowing through your veins now, kind of. God, fuck me, I had the word a second ago.
You got the spooky.
God, words. It is. You know what? I'm gonna give up on that. The blood kind of constricting. There we go, constricting in your veins right now, just and pulsating like that. We will come back to what that change looks like to you in a moment. But as you are all following Addie, who is like kind of crying loudly, like what is the? Please, I don't want to. What is? Like, does not understand what is happening to her, where she is going, why she is going, is very, and like looking at her now, very much barefoot at this point. Eventually, it's not that far from a Dry Hollow proper. You can see, like, shortly ahead of you, a rundown church and a sizable cemetery. That Addie is kind of being pulled towards, and there's kind of one final like burst of darkness as she finds herself in the cemetery proper and just kind of falls to her knees sobbing at that. I think all around, like, you hear a voice, you know it's from within that general vicinity, you can't pinpoint where, a very familiar voice. I thought this might be the easiest way to get you to me. I guess I could have revealed myself, but where's the fun in that? And you got a new sibling out of it. Isn't this just a happy family reunion?
Ooh, who's he saying this to?
So you're hearing this all five of you,
Okay.
I guess technically, because Addie is there, but it's just kind of on her knees, hands balled, sobbing.
Addie's having a day.
Yeah, all four of you can hear this around you, like not pinpointed anywhere, it's just like ever present right now, and it is out loud. Like it's very clearly like you're not hearing this in your mind.
One for theatrics, weren't you?
I love a good show. Let's chat a little bit before the grand reveal. You've got time. The sun's not up for quite some time now.
What do you fucking want, Armand?
You're the one that was following me, and I'm guessing not for anything pleasant. Come to pay me back for ripping out your throat? Or for taking you away from your practice? Now, Ari, Lenore, I'm curious about you two. I don't think I wronged you when I turned you.
Well, I'm pretty sure you did kill me.
I mean, it was only temporary, and now you have eternity to study.
True.
Ooh.
But I am nothing if not a lover of democracy. And they all want to kill you, so I'm on their side.
Lenore like spits the ground. Just we have family now.
Am I not family? I'm your father of sorts, I suppose. Your parent.
Yeah, but every
My
culture.
goddamn father.
They spit the ground
you
as
know.
a reply.
I made you what
Most
you are.
good mythologies are founded on children overthrowing their fathers. So why mess with a good, solid track record of that?
Overthrowing me for what? What have I done to you? Or is it... And you kind of, like at that in a shadow of this ruined church, a shadow stands up and leaps down in front of the graveyard. Now, the voice that kind of trails out of this creature's mouth is very clearly Armand's. But what is standing before you is this like 8-foot tall, bipedal, leonine-like creature with like this mostly grayish skin, a little bit of like hair around the face, like a bit like a mane, but not quite. That's like white and wiry. You two, and points to Stacy and Jackson. You've been experiencing some strange things, haven't you? Been using it, I see. Stacy, in this moment, what do you think your physical transformation looks like?
Oh, he's got claws coming out of where his fingernails would be.
So, over the table, I kind of imagine that y'all do kind of have like sharpened nails that still like, but you've got, but like with the claws, this is like a very much more pronounced. I like actually looking at this creature's body, your claws look more like his claws than your than like the rest of your companions at this point. Gotten some new powers you've been dabbling in then?
Stacy is very quiet in the shadow that he is crouched in right now.
You won't even talk to me before the fun begins. Very well. Listen, before we do this, you could leave. I don't have any quarrels with you. I don't particularly like killing my children. But if it's me or you, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to make it me.
Dr. Cassidy looks around to see if anyone wants to say anything.
I think I just say, well, it's you or us. Simple utilitarianism. I think
Isn't
you gotta go.
True utilitarianism leaving with all of us alive? Take Adia with you. Teach her. Bring her up in the right ways. Got a new family member.
Yeah, well, we kind of need someone to have taught us what the right ways were first, but not really there.
You learned enough.
I talk a lot about the trolley problem, and you should know that there's no way to get everyone off the tracks. So, strap in.
And I think as soon as you say that, actually, go ahead. Take it away.
Lenore, for her, she just sees the bodies. It seems to just keep following Armand, and just a distasteful, like, I don't know, like iron in your mouth kind of taste, where just like, and you're just going to leave more and more towns dead, bleeding, for us to fight?
What if I make a promise? I won't make any more new vampires that I don't bring over to you for you to keep an eye on. I didn't kill those town folks.
Armand, finally speaking up. Do you know what the Hippocratic Oath is?
Yes, I was a doctor in a life. In a different life.
Then you will know that one of the promises of that oath is to minimize suffering whenever a cure cannot be obtained. And with the end of that sentence, he draws the revolver and fires.
Yeah! Aim and fire! Let's go! Let's get into it!
Can I help?
Yes, can...
Okay, alright. Yes, so, okay. Here's what I'm gonna ask from y'all. Okay, so the two of you that are helping, roll, plus reflex. Well, actually, what are you doing to help? Actually, tell me what you're doing to help, and that'll determine
Yes.
what the roll is.
The creature that kind of jumped down at us, she's, if they're close by, because their gun, the L'Hombre Silencious, is a big gun. She can't like aim it, so she's going to try and rip and tear with like teeth at the one that just jumped down.
I like that. Okay, so you're gonna try and rip and tear. Jackson, what about you?
I'm taking his kneecaps.
Gun or knife?
Knife, obviously. I don't do guns.
I'm just double checking. All right, cool. Okay, so, are you throwing the knife or are you getting up close and personal with the knife?
I'm gonna throw it, and then depending on what the doc does next, we might be getting up close and personal.
Okay, so, that is gonna be grit for Lenore. That is gonna be reflex for Jackson, and you have pulled your gun out, so please also give me reflex, which is so we're doing aim and fire for Jackson and Stacy, and then fights for Lenore. And Ari, what are you doing?
I have some
quick question.
fuckery.
Yeah, what's up?
The rip and tear is the weird ruination. Though.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, I love that. Okay, yeah, no, so I don't even need you to... Oh, damn, that's awesome. Okay. Cool. All right, so we'll adjudicate the gunshot from Stacy first, since that was first. And then you tell me, like, you get in, ripping, okay. Ripping and tearing, you're gonna do a major, since you're using your weird ruination, you're gonna do a major injury to Armand. And then Jackson, we will adjudicate what's going on with yours, and then Ari, whatever you're doing. So, Stacy, tell me, what did you roll for your aim and fire, unless you're using something else?
I'm not. I just rolled it straight up, and I got an 11.
Ooh, excellent.
6 and 5.
Okay. So with that 11, yeah, excellent. Okay, so you're gonna hit the target. I'm gonna say that you can do a moderate.
Ooh, you cut out.
You can do a moderate or minor attack in this moment, so just tell me where you're hitting and which one you're doing.
You say I can do a moderate and minor, or just one or the other?
One or the other, whichever. I'm assuming you're going to do the moderate because it's dealing more damage, but I also, just in case you were like, I'm going to draw this out, you know?
No. I know better than to, I should say, Dr. Cassidy knows better than to draw something like that out, because that also would go against his oath. But no, moderate for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So where are you hitting on Armand for this moderate wound?
To clue you in, Dr. Cassidy is essentially trying to aim for like where the heart would be. They are priming that spot, if you will.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely take that. You fire off your gun quite center in the chest. Now, while you don't actually, like, the bullet doesn't get all the way through, you are seeing like the muscles and flesh tearing away, not exposing the heart just yet, but you have made it easier to do so. Excellent, thank you.
That was the goal. I figured it wouldn't go hit it, but it's about getting close.
Excellent. Takes the injury, just all right, that hurts a little bit. Could be worse, and just kind of lets out this huge roar. Lenore, tell me about this weird ruination of yours. What's happening here, friend? Where are you hitting?
Oh, like a cat, pretty much going for neck, any kind of large arteries, anything to just help. But what they're going to do is, as the doctor is aiming, pretty much go for something to pull them straight into that pathway. So they're launching straight at them with their claws first, ripping them to turn around before ripping like a part of them off with their teeth.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, that is going to be a major trauma. Thank you so much for that. Jackson, what's going on?
So I imagine this is one of those things where we realize that we are all very much in tune, considering we are all from the same brood, if you will. So the minute I see sort of the twitch of the doctor's arm, that would signify he's raising the pistol, I'm gonna drop to a knee and like underhand chuck a good. This is one of those daggers that's like, it's got a nice weight to it, but one of those edges is just jagged. Like, pulling that shit out is gonna hurt way more than having it go in. So for a 10, I'm aiming for that knee.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Taking the kneecaps!
With a 10, I'm assuming you're gonna make it a moderate trauma. You like hits in the knee. You can hear kind of like as it slides, but God, I know you have that, like, your patella's there and you have muscle underneath. Like, I think it slides right in between them. There's just like a kind of starts to like go down almost on one knee as this is happening. Ari, what are you doing over there, friend?
Hello.
Hi.
I would like to weird ruination fuckery.
Ooh.
Please and thank you.
Okay.
My whole thing is questions that go unanswered. How much do you want me to mark off on this little sheet? We're in a graveyard, yeah?
Correct.
Lovely. I would like to summon up the voices of those who have died and have been buried here to psychically scream the questions that they went to the grave unanswered into Armand's head so that he is paralyzed in indecision, so that everybody else has an easier time beating his ass.
You want to just paralyze my guy and not be able to do anything.
Yeah, I want to instill him with the paralyzing fear that indecision brings, summoning up the unanswered questions of those who have passed.
Okay, so
All I do is yap. Let me talk to
I think the
ghosts.
bigger question is, how much of yourself are you willing to give for how long to like make this last, right? Because so this is not how the game works, but this is fun and funky as hell. So bravo, I'm gonna do it. The real question here is, how long do you want this to last, right? Because I'd say for every 3 you're willing to do, I'll because this guy's a bit beefy, right? He's got more trauma to take than y'all have, right? Unsurprisingly. So for every 3 you're willing to like give up, I'll have it last longer. And hell, if you want to go the full 10, we can have something fun and fucky happen. So it's up to you, Apollo.
Thought that was going to be a problem, but only for VJ.
This isn't a problem. This is a joy. I love it.
I'll ask the group. I'm happy to go anywhere between giving up 6 and 9. I mean, how badly can y'all fuck him up? How badly can y'all fuck him up?
I got knives on knives. Like part
You
of my
got knives on
game,
knives on
I have
knives.
not shot my big
like
gun
quite
yet.
literally, unless I have been strip searched, there will be knives on me.
Real. I love that.
Love it.
I have a thing you know about, so you may not need as long as you think.
I'll go 6. Yeah, I'll go 6.
Okay, you go 6. Apollo, as you do this, you all begin to hear these voices, but it is only directed at Armand. As you summon these voices to speak, you can hear in various tones, why did you cheat on me? Why did I divorce you? Why did I gamble so much of my money away? Why couldn't you love me? Like, just more and more voices than there are tombstones, making it very clear of like the number of bodies that have been buried in and around this place, maybe legally or illegally at this point. Apollo, in activating your weird ruination in such a massive way, what physically changes about you?
I drop to my knees. I make dead eye contact with Armand. I whisper it, but he hears it as if I was standing right there, right next to him. I say, "Why was I just entertainment to you?" And I dig my hands into the ground, and I start to pull up like I'm physically pulling the graves up. And I think my arms begin to turn into like the stone that you use for gravestones. I don't become rooted yet, but just my body slowly starts to turn into a gravestone.
Okay, I love that. And as this is happening, all of you, the 3 of you, can clearly see and tell and just feel Armand kind of just locked into place as all of these voices are just assaulting his psyche in this form. So, because we use 6, I'm going to forgo him doing anything for the next couple of rounds, as it were. And so comes back to the rest of you. What are y'all like? Tell me what
I just
else.
say y'all better fuck him up.
Just to give you kind of a rundown of the damage you've done. You've done 1 major and 2 moderate at this point. But as I've said, is a bit tougher than y'all, so can take some damage. So what are the rest of you doing in this moment?
Lenore's right now, just if they're being pushed off by him.
It's just kind of frozen, like very clearly as Ari was about to do this, like is frozen in this of the space of like reaching out their hand in very much the same way that Maude did, as if to activate something, and another hand was like kind of coming back to grab you, but it's just kind of locked in this movement, and you are not pulled off at this point.
They will feel that enticing feeling of that ruination, that, you know, they have a fast draw, but now that they are kind of immobilized in a way, they can't react. So they're enjoying this feeling of ruination and diving more into it. And their face almost like looks like larger teeth, like a vampire wolf, kind of like opening up, like the jaw kind of unhinging a bit, before they start. They want to do more ruination and break their spirit, maim their soul, and they're going to just be like in their ear, just like as they're like opening their mouth, listen to what he is asking, over and over, and just like pretty much opening him wider and wider to the noises outside, and just like pummeling that into their spirit. Just, what have you done to them? Look at your children.
And I think with that, again, Armand, who can't respond as your teeth are kind of getting larger, reflecting his own teeth as well in this form, that is another major trauma. Still locked in this place, cannot move, cannot speak, can't say anything, but you can feel like just the slightest tremor of pain running through his body at this point.
Yeah, as they do more of that, they just become more animalistic, and just as if their nose bridge, their face is like crinkling up in wrinkles, and like their hands and feet look more closer, like resemble paws for a second, just like they're just ready to rip. But that is what Lenore is doing.
Okay, so you've got 1 weird ruination step from your previous use of this. Roll me another d6, please.
That is a 3.
Okay, so you move forward 2 more, so you're up to 3 at this point. Stacy and Jackson, what's going on?
Stacy pulls with his free hand. He's exchanged the scalpel for the stake and starts running towards where Armand is. But instead of doing it himself, he tosses the stake over to Jackson, and says, you might be a bit more effective with this, and I think you might get more satisfaction out of it. And he then still has the revolver in his hands, so he's going to kneel down, aim, and then he's going to fire again, trying to hit as closest to the previous spot as he could.
Okay, yeah, roll aim and fire for me, so it's roll plus reflex.
That is a 7, exactly. So.
Okay, so with Okay, so with a 7, it's taking the shot places you in danger, or your shot is glancing and is less effective. Which of those 2 would you like to happen here?
I'm gonna say it's glancing and less effective.
Okay, so that is 1 minor trauma, as you go down on your knee, you try to aim this, but you're not quite able to do so. And it does kind of hit in the general area, but not close enough to actually widen the wound or deal like a major or moderate trauma in this moment. Okay, thank you. And Jackson, what are you doing, friend?
Well, the doctor just tossed the steak. And I think there is a nod and a snarl. I want to run forward with all of the strength, all of the unnatural, supernatural strength that is afforded to me. I want to jump, put all of my body weight behind it, and drive this stake into the bastard's heart.
Okay.
I will take a weird ruination if I have to buff my grit.
Yeah. I think I'm assuming you are trying to do a major like very clearly looking at Armand right now is like with.
I'm talking like the. So I might be showing my age here. Who remembers the movie 300? There is a shot that I love where one of the Spartan soldiers like takes a flying leap off a wall with sword in hand, like both hands, before bringing it down on someone's arm, I think.
That was hot.
So like that, but with a stake. And I'm going for the chest.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, all right. So before you do, as you kind of are leaping and going to do this, come on. All right, roll me. Jesus, once. Okay, there it's back. Roll me a d6.
2.
Okay, so you only progress 1 in your weird ruination. As you're kind of running and leaping to do this, also describe to me what else about you changes as you run, jump, and then come down in this way. Oh, yeah, I can't hear you.
I muted. Hold on. I thought I clicked the button. The red that was just Jackson's pupils bleeds itself out to the sclera. The skin becomes even more ashen. And the fangs that were just the canines start to, like the rest of the teeth start to spread and sharpen. It's decidedly more monstrous. The humanity that they were still able to hold on to as they are moving at this unnatural pace, it's almost like you are actively watching them leave it behind.
And as this transformation happens, as you leap in the air, stake out, ready to plunge it through Armand's heart, you do so, and there is right before you connect, Armand's eyes kind of look up at you, the only bits of him that he can actually move, and there's a bit of a look, for a moment there's a look of, I'll survive this will be fine. And then as you kind of get closer and can very clearly see this like more monstrous transformation of yourself, there is doubt, there is worry, there is fear in those eyes, and right when it connects, you are faced like eye to eye with Armand in this moment, who just I guess I should have made sure you were dead then.
Yeah.
Armand, not to interrupt your situation, but I just wanted to warn you, in about a minute and a half, the holy water is going to kick in, so you may want to speak quick.
I think
And there's like a look between the two of them, and then Dr. Cassidy just grins, just like like didn't tell anybody about the fucking holy water.
I think as you have plunged the stake into Armand, dealing this not only just horrific blow to his heart, but also coupled with the holy water, the effects that of Ari's weird ruination wear off as Armand is slipping away from the world of the undead. And
As it's slipping, I just kind of say, simple utilitarianism.
Kind of falls to the ground. This form that he was in begins to shrink away until you still have Armand, who is still rather tall, right? But is back in his natural state, is alive. You watch as parts of him start to kind of flake away, starting with the feet, and then kind of all over, bits of the cheek, bits of the head, the hands, and just kind of rolls himself over to look at Ari and Lenore and says, I think I made a mistake in not staying with the two of you, at least. Probably could have killed these other two if we were together.
Lenore is like animalistic, like, and laughing, and they're kind of holding Armand in a way so that as Jackson's coming down with this, they're kind of like opening them up like a trap, like, take it. And they just laugh in at their ear and just says, like, feeling that ruination, feeling everything that the fighter that they are, and just, then that means you would have actually seen us for what we are, than your little take interest, and just kind of roar out and just meet Jackson's like face just like in a wide smile, like that's just full fangs, like now like at this point growing in inches.
And with that, a few more minutes go by. At this point, Armand's like lower jaw is gone and is not able to speak, and eyes are just looking up into the darkened sky at the stars above, and more pieces of him begin to flake away until there is nothing. Addie is, at this point across this fight, has like hidden behind a tombstone and is just kind of cowering and watching this.
Storyteller,
Yes.
I know you said that the body had started to disintegrate. Are there bones left behind?
I will say that...
Specifically, a skull.
You know what? Yeah. You can have a skull.
I want to take his fucking fangs.
So I think then what, just to rewind a little bit, what happens, like all of the other bones, the flesh, the muscles, all of that kind of chip and flake away, leaving nothing but this very pristine, mostly human-looking skull with two fangs sticking out.
I'll kind of stare at it, and I'm just gonna bring the heel of my boot down on that skull to crack open the top of the jaw, and just reach down and pluck those fangs out.
And you are able
Would
to
you-
do so.
Would you borrow Dr. Cassidy's Vampires to do that?
Lots of vampires.
And you know what, folks? With that, I think that's where the Curse of Blood ends. Oh boy. Thank you so much for tuning in with us, folks. It was a pleasure having you watch. It was a pleasure having these players. And also, just to give you a little behind the scenes thing, there was a little moment where I was like, is Armand gonna be able to shapeshift? Is Addie gonna be Armand? But then I thought, nah, it's fine. But yeah, everybody. Hey, my name is VJH my name is VJ Harris. I'm VJH Creations everywhere on the internet except for Instagram, where I'm VJH_creations. There's nothing there yet, so get it on the ground floor. I make TTRPGs, I run TTRPGs, and I'm getting back to podcasting with a fun and funky little thing that I'm going to be putting out soon-ish. It's going to be fun. It's going to be historic for the TTRPG community, and I'm very excited about it. And with that, I'm going to pass this over to my lovely player, Laura.
Hi, hello, good evening, folks. Once again, I have been Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. You can find me most places on the internet as Laura_Tutu. You might just have to throw an underscore at the beginning and the end of that, depending on which ridiculous site you were trying to find me on. I have been your sneak, Jackson, full of rage and now more monstrous than ever, but that's the fun part of playing vampires, isn't it? When I'm not here doing Western vampire things, you can find me doing Chicago vampire things with the All Night Society, a multi-award-winning Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle with Queen's Court Games. You can find more about Queen's Court Games at queenscourt.games, where you can find the All Night Society, you can find Harlem Hellfighters Never Die, you can find Mekong, all manner of wonderful heart-rending TTRPG stories. When I'm not with the court, you can find me occasionally popping over to hang out with the fine folks at Obsidian Brews, where we tell stories for the culture with our all-black collective. Other than that, you'll be able to find me at a variety of cons probably coming up, specifically PAX U, I know for sure, but we'll see what 2025 brings.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Apollo. One of my favorite people, I guess, at this point.
Yeah. Hello there. Great to see you at the end of it all. My name is Apollo. You can find me on the internet at TallNerdApollo. What you're going to do is very simple. You're going to go to a social media website. You're going to type in the words Tall Nerd Apollo. If you don't see me, I'm not fucking there. It's quite simple. If I'm there, you'll find me. If you want to find me in person, go to the nation of Ireland, ask for the tall one. They'll find me eventually. What do I do? Allegedly, I'm a voice actor. Even though the consistency of my accent was straight up not there, in my defense, I've been awake for 22 hours. I'm a cosplayer. Yeah, that's it. I got shit just kind of there, sitting until I put it into storage, or do a photo shoot in it. You never know with cosplay. And TTRPG performer. That's technically what I did today. In between the dissociating. Not through the fault of anybody, but time zones. Time zones are a concept that were designed specifically despite me, because it means that I can't play with cool people, like the people at this table, as often as I would like to. Where can you find me? Don't. I'm just a little guy. I'll be doing stuff. Check my social media. I might be posting like post-gym photos on Twitter again, and I'm sorry if I am. Thank you, VJ. Happy BIPOC VampDay.
Thank you so much, Apollo. Mozz.
Hi, I am Mozz. I'm so happy to play this. It was amazing. Great job, VJ. My goodness. I was playing, oh my God, all the things that I was going to say just immediately vacated my mind. Immediately. What was I saying? Oh, I was playing Lenore Duval. My pronouns are she, they. And you can find me all over the internet as It's Mozzarella. Except for Twitch, where I am just Mozzarella with 3 L's. But hey, one day. But yeah, I do voice acting. I am a TTRPG performer and I run games over at Start Crawl RPG. And I'm so happy to be part of this because this was beautiful. To you, Sparrow.
Hello, hi. I am your favorite burb on the interweb, aBlackSparrow from the Feywild and Out and the Zeldathon teams. You can find me at aBlackSparrow most places, including on Twitch. Hopefully soon. In fact, by the time you're watching this, most likely, we will have announced that we are doing a lovely Tales of Zadia game over at twitch.tv/theredhairinn. I get to be in that, so I'm very excited. I'll be at Big Bad Con. I'll be at PAX U, probably C2E2 next year, among other ones. So come and find me there at aBlackSparrow.com, SherrickRobinson.com. Say hi and hello, and I will likely do the same.
Thank you so much for that. And before we dump off, this game of The Curse of Blood was brought to you by Weird West, which you can find on itch. It's only $8. It's a fun little time. And I don't know, folks, maybe you'll also see this adventure on itch as well at some point. This was great. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. Thank you again for all of my fine and lovely players for being here with me. Catch you later. Enjoy the rest of the programming. Or if we're the last ones, happy to end things. Bye.